Kiara's in the building. Yes. Yeah. Set, boy. What's up, you want? Come through tonight, man, or tomorrow. Nothing like the movie. Crazy. Lazy. Overtime. We don't Israelites who took back land from Canaanites. The ones they used to criticize was the ones who now prophesied. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Manasseh, Simeon, Gad. And Gad. Yeah, we get it in tonight, baby. Leviticus. Shalom. Israel. Boy, you can't you tell? Precept on precept. When I read the whole book, I said we kings like that. Real talk, who you know when it seems like that? 144,000 when a king. 144, act what? So Moses, I got brothers that call different names with them brothers. So if you don't rock with Messiah, then you ain't rocking with me. Real talk. Peace and Mr. Amo 3 and 3, I rock with Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Manasseh, and Gad. Yeah. And Gad. Be ruling. The Lord of the earth, but soon we gonna be ruling. Yeah. We gonna rock, boy. Rock, boy. Yeah. Welcome to the Hebrew state of being. We are your humble host and servants for the night. I am Kayel.
And I am Oba.
Yes. Oh, praises. Yes. Tonight is what is a Hebrew. Yes. But we would be remiss if we did not start the show and say respects to what we believe is a saint that many people would not recognize as such as a saint. When we say saint, we mean someone in a biblical sense, not in the holy archdiocese sense, right?
You don't mean the papal saint?
No. We're not talking about no papal saints here. No. We're not talking about them. We're talking about the ones that have done the work for the community. They have studied, they have researched, and they are bringing truth forward. Truth is the key here.
Like saint-like, for sure.
That is a saint, man. And yesterday, we all know it's been all through the news and social media that the brother Nipsey Hussle was assassinated. Anytime you're shot 5 times to the chest and 1 to the head, it's an assassination.
Yeah. Military style.
Thank you. Absolutely military style. So regardless of what things that you may see in social media of how it may be portrayed in the main media, understand that the gentleman was bringing forth the truth of health as we are reading chapter 5 tonight of Leviticus. And we understand that the Levitical order gave us our first food regimen of what was clean and what was unclean. So this brother was bringing to light an indigenous man from Honduras, Hebrew, that was Dr. Sebi, that who proved his case in 1988 or 85. I'm not sure which one. I believe it was 80. It was 85. In 1985, proved that he cured cancer. He was sued by the New York. He actually sued. No, the state of New York sued him for a false claim because he took out a full-page ad in the New York Times stating that he had cured it. So obviously that upset the
Pharmaceutical industry, the medical industry, everybody.
yeah,
That makes money off you being dead
yeah,
from AIDS.
yeah. So he proved and won his case. I think had a ridiculous amount of testimonies of people that he had actually cured. I mean, over 70 people that he had testified in this court case stating that they had this disease and that they were cured. So he was doing a narration, he was paying for out of his own money. And many of you may not know Nipsey Hussle was distributed by Atlantic Records, but he was an independent artist. So that meant that he had control over what he put out, the words and his music. So, you know, when a person that has amassed the amount of capital that he amassed and had the capabilities of making something like this go international, shalom, my brother Scott, yes, an opportunity to go international with this truth and how the pharmaceutical industry has been a source of illness for our community when it could have been for the good.
Illness for profit.
Illness for profit, right? So, so that got him killed at his record release party at his store in his neighborhood.
Inside job. Inside job. It's dirty.
Dirty. And Nipsey Hussle, regardless if they tell you about his gang affiliations, he was loved by both sides because he did so much community work. And when you're doing that much community work, many times people really don't care. I mean, how many times have Christianity and nuns come into the community and taken over our community because they came with help? So our community has proven that it doesn't matter if they hate you, if you're the absolute enemy, if you're giving them something, they'll kick it with you. So don't believe anything about it could have been some gang violence or some rival
Our people did not
situation.
do this.
Nah, people did not. The brother just came back from Mexico from touring the Mayan mountains, the Mayan, the Inca and the Mayans ruins, and the mountain, the temples and whatnot that they still have, the pyramids that they have. One was gonna incorporate all these things into what he was doing in this DVD, or rather documentary. Excuse me, not DVD, but documentary. As we stated with you guys many times, you know, we don't take what we're doing here lightly in any form of the fashion. You know, we discuss how, you know, our videos on Israelis was taken down, how our channel was taken down. Hebrew State of Being, we can't go live on that one, so we're on YouTube on an entirely different channel now, Bueller Production. So, you know, when you are speaking the truth that is detrimental to the income, remember, no one is killed because they're bringing truth. It's the fact that the truth affects the lie, which is the lucre generating source for them.
Yes.
So they don't care if you know. They just afraid if you can galvanize people to go against what you're saying, what they're doing. And since he had over 1 million followers, they thought that that was an easy 1-2 thing to happen. So, as we mourn this brother, it is our duty to speak the truth of this brother. So, we pray that this small thing that we're doing at this moment, very insignificant thing that we do at this moment, but last night, brother and I, we all prayed, for this brother during the 11 to midnight hour when it is 7 a.m. It is the first hour in Jerusalem at 11 p.m. to midnight here in North America, Central Standard Time. At that time, the chambers are open to the heavens. So, we prayed during that time to ask that the Most High, forgive him for whatever sins and, that his soul be in peace. So what we're doing here is insignificant. The prayer and your prayers is way more important than us ever screaming. The Most High would rather that 50 of us was praying than 70 of us screaming from a milk box. Believe me, that is what he would prefer.
So, and Sebi, man.
Yes, rest in peace. Thank you.
For the same reasons, people don't realize that how important your health is to the movement, and how you not being healthy is really working for the other movement, because it makes you a non-factor. And Sebi was pretty much talking about how the body needs to be an alkaline environment.
Yes.
Because an alkaline environment means that your body is free from disease. Because disease is coming out of mucus. And mucus is in all of this fake
milk,
GMO, dairy, fake food that people eat. All this meat that's full of fat. Yeah, that's where you're going to catch all of that mucus. And then you don't know how this disease is forming. And that's what Sebi said. And everything he did proved that. And folks learned how to heal themselves with minerals. They started getting deeper on the quest. The knowledge started spreading across the country.
Yes.
And like you said, it got dangerous.
Real dangerous.
That affects the meat industry, the dairy industry, the pharmaceutical industry, all the GMO industry, our little Debbies, all the ones that love to make
Debbies, yes.
people, whatever makes
fans.
people fat, and just unhealthy and slower, and works your brain a certain way that is
works your brain,
not functional, closes and calcifies your pineal,
your third eye, your pineal. Thank you, my brother.
The sacrificial lens.
And that's gonna be the segue that we're gonna go into our Leviticus chapter 5.
Yes.
The pineal gland. You want to read through 5 first and then go into the pineal, or you want to go into pineal now?
Man, it's just deep, man. Well, do folks know what the pineal is to begin with?
You know what? I think you're right. We're gonna, and shouts out to 432. We're gonna ride the wave. We're gonna go ahead into the pineal gland. You know what I'm saying? Instead of our normal structure, hit the scripture first, then roll. Nipsey, we're gonna rap a taste tonight for Nips. You know what I'm saying? Yes. What's up with the? We're gonna go into the pineal gland and see how it connects to Leviticus in chapter 5. How can all of this? How can Nipsey Hussle be connected to Leviticus chapter 5? Now, we're not talking about 50 Cent. We're not talking about no derelict that is a Satanist in this, industry getting shot. No. We're talking about a community leader and community organizer and gave his funds that he personally earned back into the community. So that's who we're talking about tonight. So as y'all, we always talk about breaking things out the box. Let's take Nipsey outside of the box of being a rapper and being a person that was committed to evolving his community and bringing truth to his community. So with that said, we are definitely saying that he's a saint in the scriptural manner. Especially since he died for the truth is what makes you a saint.
Yes.
Did you know that? Did you know when you die for the truth, you die for his name? That's what makes you a saint. So, Pineal gland, my brother. What is the pineal gland?
Oh, Noah Webster, 1828 definition of pineal. The pineal gland is a part of the brain about the bigness of a pea, situated in the third ventricle, so called from its shape. It was considered by Descartes as the seat of the soul.
The seat
Of the
of
soul.
the soul.
You can look up
I
that guy,
mean,
philosopher guy.
The seat
Wow.
of the soul.
Yep.
The pineal gland.
The third ventricle.
Maybe why they want to go with the third eye. No, the third eye is because it's shaped like an eye. It is where we get the eye of Horus from the pineal gland, because it's supposed to be knowledge. Horus was knowledge, right? All seeing. But if it's all seeing and it's in here, it's not the two eyes here. How's that? And how'd that connect to Sebi and to Nipsey? Well, being alkaline means that your pineal gland is decalcifying, or it is decalcified. See, fluoride, calcium, chlorine, all are attributing chemicals to calcifying your pineal gland.
Yes.
Am I correct with that? My brother knows this way better than me, so please, at any time.
No, you're hitting it. I'm just looking up third ventricles related stuff. Like it's dope.
Let's just hit the third ventricle right quick,
hit
so
it, man.
before we go into that, yeah.
The third ventricle is one of the four connected fluid cavities comprising the ventricular system within the mammalian brain, which is the mammal brain, right? It is a median cleft in the diencephalon between the two thalami, and it is filled with cerebrospinal fluid. So all of the fluid that makes your spine and your whole body work and everything that makes you move and do all of that is all connected in your third eye. That's the beginning of that.
Beginning.
Yeah, it's just wow. It's like literally the where the fluid in your body, what makes the fluids and everything work in your body is like seated in that area. It's so important, man. So to calcify that is to calcify how your body moves, how your body thinks, your whole vibration, who you interact with. It's all directly connected to that, man. The food that you eat, like you said before,
Yes.
is immediately connected to that.
Immediately connected to you being able to connect with the seat of your soul. Who owns your soul? The Most High. So if that's the seat of your soul, that's where you will go to commune with the Most High. Oh, that sounds like a stretch right there. How can you believe that your pineal gland is the place where you can possibly seat to have a sit down and speak with the Most High? Well, let's first deal.
The seat of the soul?
Yeah.
Well, what's the soul?
Yeah.
If the definition is the seat of the soul,
When we rapping, let's speak
the
with
soul is the spiritual, rational, and immortal substance in man, which distinguishes
Immortal
him
substance.
from brutes. That part of a man which enables him to think and reason, and which renders him a subject of moral government.
That's what the soul is.
And it's immortal, he says, which everybody knows. Soul is immortal.
I'm actually to read that again because it was a very interesting thing.
Yeah.
Because most people that the soul is something that is just your personal being, and then you're judged for your actions. But the soul is more than just your essence that is going up to be judged. Because it's I'm reading here it's saying that it was pure.
Yep. The spiritual, rational, and immortal substance in man, which distinguishes him from brutes.
Distinguishes him from a
Brute
brute.
doesn't have a soul.
No compassion.
Yes, there's differences. Yeah. And that's the part of man that enables him to think and reason.
To think and reason. Go on.
Yes. The immorality of the soul is a fundamental article of it says the Christian system. Such is the nature of the human soul that it must have a God, an object of supreme affection. Wow.
So if it has a God, remember that so when we get later. In order for you to have the soul, is connected to your pineal gland, which says that you have a soul, which is the seat of your soul, which is where you know that you have a God. And it is the civilizing aspect of
Yes.
you. It is the peaceful, it is the righteous aspect of you, your soul. They said, unless they corrupt your soul. Is that where that term comes from about corrupting a soul?
Yeah, it does.
Is that why the devil wants you to sign over your soul?
Yes.
Huh. All right, hold on to that. Hold on to that. Get back to the seven. Get back to the three rivers that flow into the pineal, which is the fluid, which some consider the milk and honey of the brain that flows.
Land of milk and
The
honey, huh?
land of milk and honey. Past that, how does that connect to Sebi and to Nipsey? Well, Nipsey was alkaline with his, so he was receiving his signals from the Most High, to where he decided to pick up the work of another person that taught him and instilled the concept of truth and died for it. All right, now, how does it get to chapter 5? How do we connect to the 5? Well, we got to read chapter 5 in order to see how it connects to 5. But what I will tell you is that it is connected directly to our sacrifices and our offerings. Tonight, as we dealing with chapter 5, and it's also, let me just give a shout out to Data News Weekly,
Data News Weekly.
to Scoop Joseph Jones, or rather Joseph Madison Scoop Jones. My grandfather started our newspaper, our family newspaper, Data News Weekly. On this day in 1964 makes it 55 years.
Yes. Give all praise. Give all praise.
And we're on the 5th chapter of Leviticus. I'm just feeling some type of way about it. And Leviticus is about the 5 different offerings. So we're going to talk about the 5 offerings. You have a burnt offering, you have a meal offering, you have a peace offering, you have a sin offering, and you have a trespass offering. Right? So in chapters 1 through 4, we've already dealt with the burnt offerings. We've already dealt with meal offerings, and we're dealing with sin offerings. This transgression, trespass, and sin offerings. The sin is the big one when it comes to what you have to sacrifice and how you have to sacrifice it, especially with the peace, in the peace offering, mostly. So we're about to get into what you have to do, and in the process. And like I said, we've been talking in chapter 5 about the fact that we all are clear that we're no longer under Levitical order. So none of these animal sacrifices are in order. But it's the process of cleansing oneself. We are showing that when Yahushua came, that now these same practices you can do in your everyday life because you are now the temple. And every day when you eat, you are bringing in an offering into your temple unto him. And if your pineal gland is the seat of the soul of righteousness, then your food directly dictates if you are speaking or if you are being spoken to from the Most High.
Facts.
Facts. Facts. So, where we are is understanding that Adam and Eve, as a quick recap, it wasn't the trickery of the devil that corrupted Adam and Eve. It wasn't the fact that Adam and Eve allowed themselves to be corrupted. It wasn't that Adam and Eve disobeyed the Most High. Listen to those things. None of those things were the things that changed what they saw and how the curses manifested. They had to eat the apple They had to go through the process of eating the apple. They couldn't lay by the tree. They couldn't just kick it by the tree. They couldn't just climb on a tree. They couldn't just pet the snake
Even
on
if
the
they had
tree.
sex all over the tree, it still wouldn't have done it.
Still wouldn't have been an abomination.
Still wouldn't have done it.
Still would have done it. They had to physically eat the apple to make them see themselves as gods or see as gods saw. See, that was a trickery of the devil. The devil told them they were going to be gods, but really he was going to be able to see what gods saw.
You mean like some of these music contracts?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, listen, you're gonna be rich. You can see it now.
Go see money
It'll
everywhere.
take you everywhere. You're gonna. I mean, like, what are you into? They'll find out ahead of time, and then
Yes.
they'll tell you exactly what you want to hear.
Where you want to get it, how you want to get it, where you can go and get it. Better yet, stay at the hotel room that you're paying for on your per diem, well, not on your per diem, but in your contract as your advance and all that. Because, Because all of it goes back to them. Because they're not a dime of their money. When you sign a contract to the record label, that means that from now on, they're going to spend your money on you that you owe them.
Could you repeat that one more time, please?
When you sign the contract to a major record label, it means they are now going to release funds that you owe, that they're going to loan you to spend, that you're going to owe them at the end. I know that was quick. So when you sign the contract, they're going to tell you that you get an advancement and that you have a budget. The only money that you get from a record label is going to be in your advance and in your budget. Both of those things you owe them.
Yeah, you're about to give that back every last cent.
So basically, you sign your name for a principal loan with the hopes that your belief in yourself is going to garner everyone else believing in you and buying your music, and you can pay them back, and then
Interest.
with interest, and then all the money, any money you got left over, is yours.
Well, they might own your likeness.
And your name. Ask Prince
and your
about that.
name. Well, not only Prince, you got some local friends that we're not gonna talk about, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's like it's rough how they go about it.
And when you want to get it back, when you've made enough money as a slave, remember Prince had slave written on his face. Did y'all remember that? Y'all thought it was just part of his little decor, right?
Yeah,
that was part of
he was
his.
being flamboyant.
Oh, look at Prince on being an artist.
That's what people thought. They didn't know. That's how they painted. They're just going crazy.
So once you made enough money as an indentured servant to him, and you can actually buy back your freedom, they pop you. Take all the rights to all your stuff. Ask Tesla. It's not just music.
Across the board.
It's across the board.
Not just because you're noir.
Right. Not just because you're noir. Nah. Anything that messes with their little gray.
Look at it. Come on.
Little gray. So we have shown you that the pineal gland was something that Dr. Sebi and Nipsey Hussle was continuing his work of bringing the truth of an alkaline body, curing all diseases that have been put into our communities through the food that Adam and Eve ate, that changed and saw themselves naked or vulnerable, but it changed and now they could experience sin. Lucky them.
Oh yes.
They got to eat the apple.
Awesome.
Yes. So I could drink the Hennessy, go out, find me another girl that drank the Hennessy. We can both do the wrong thing, throw up together, wake up in the morning, both in our vomit. I don't know you, you don't know me. We go the other way. We don't even know each other in the street.
Yeah, now we got diseases.
Now, if you don't throw up on me too much, I
Yay.
might call you again to double down on the disease.
Yay. Don't sign me up for that, please.
No, man. So we are saying that your body and what you eat will directly heal you because he gave every herb of the earth for the healing of the world. Every pharmaceutical drug we have is imitating a natural herb. Facts. So, we've connected Nipsey to Dr. Sebi with their work on helping to clear the pineal gland. We're finding that the pineal gland is directly spoken of in Leviticus. We are showing that in the peace offering, that we're going to do with 5. We're going to do Acts 5 probably as a precept to that. But my brother, if you can go on and start reading that chapter 5 so we can show how this connects.
Leviticus chapter 5. If a person incurs guilt when he has heard a public imprecation, that word is huge.
Yeah.
A public imprecation, and although able to testify as one who has either seen or learned of the matter, he does not give information, so that he is subject to punishment.
No snitching? This ain't no snitching?
And that imprecation is like somebody putting a hex on somebody. So that's the public. Or when a person touches any unclean thing, be it the carcass of an unclean beast or the carcass of unclean cattle or the carcass of an unclean creeping thing, and the fact has escaped him, and then being unclean, he realizes his guilt. Or when he touches human uncleanness, any such uncleanness whereby one becomes unclean, and though he has known it, the fact has escaped him, but later he realizes his guilt. Or when a person utters an oath to bad or good purpose, whatever a man may utter in an oath, and though he has known it, the fact has escaped him, but later he realizes his guilt in any of these matters. When he realizes his guilt in any of these matters, he shall confess that wherein he has sinned, and he shall bring as his penalty to the Most High for the sin of which he is guilty a female from the flock, sheep or goat, as a sin offering, and the priest shall make expiation on his behalf for his sin. But if his means do not suffice for a sheep, he shall bring to the Most High as his penalty for that of which he is guilty 2 turtle doves or 2 pigeons, one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering. He shall bring them to the priest, who shall offer first the one for the sin offering, pinching its head at the nape without severing it. He shall sprinkle some of the blood of the sin offering on the side of the altar, and what remains of the blood shall be drained out at the base of the altar. It is a sin offering. And the second he shall prepare as a burnt offering, according to regulation. Thus the priest shall make expiation on his behalf for the sin of which he is guilty, and he shall be forgiven. And if his means do not suffice for 2 turtle doves or 2 pigeons, he shall bring as his offering for that of which he is guilty 1/10 of an ephah of choice flour for a sin offering. He shall not add oil to it or lay frankincense on it, for it is a sin offering. He shall bring it to the priest, and the priest shall scoop out of it a handful as a token portion of it, and turn it into smoke on the altar with the Most High's offering by fire. It is a sin offering. Thus the priest shall make expiation on his behalf for whichever of these sins he is guilty, and he shall be forgiven. It shall belong to the priest, like the meal offering. And the Most High spoke to Moses, saying, when a person commits a trespass, being unwittingly remiss about any of the Most High's sacred things, he shall bring as his penalty to the Most High a ram without blemish from the flock, convertible into payment in silver by the sanctuary weight, as a guilt offering. He shall make restitution for that wherein he was remiss about the sacred things, and he shall add a 5th part to it and give it to the priest. The priest shall make expiation on his behalf with the ram of the guilt offering, and he shall be forgiven. And when a person without knowing it sins in regard to any of the Most High's commandments about things not to be done, and then he realizes his guilt, he shall be subject to punishment. He shall bring to the priest a ram without blemish from the flock, or the equivalent as a guilt offering. The priest shall make expiation on his behalf for the error that he committed unwittingly, and he shall be forgiven. It is a guilt offering. He has incurred guilt before the Most High. The Most High spoke to Moses, saying, when a person sins and commits a trespass against the Most High by dealing deceitfully with his fellow in the matter of a deposit or a pledge,
Or a pledge or a deposit. I want y'all to get that these things are sin offerings really point to how we deal with each other. That we have to have a higher standard of dealing with each other. Now
yes,
our sins are against the transgressions of our own people. Go on, brother.
yes. When a person sins and commits a trespass against the Most High by dealing deceitfully with his fellow in the matter of a deposit or a pledge, or through robbery, or by defrauding his fellow, or by finding something lost and lying about it. If he swears falsely regarding any one of the various things that one may do and sin thereby, when one has thus sinned and realizing his guilt, would restore that which he got through robbery or fraud, or the deposit that was entrusted to him, or the lost thing that he found, or anything else about which he swore falsely, he shall repay the principal amount and add a fifth part to it.
Add a fifth part to it. So even with the sacrifice adding a fifth part to it, you're gonna add a fifth part here. It's the Most High is saying if when you are gonna go against His children that are coming in earnestly, we read in Romans when we talked about chapter 12, when it talked about being gracious and kind to your enemies, is the same thing as heaping a giant lump of fiery coal upon their heads. Here, the Most High is saying, if you are gonna, my people come in you earnestly and you deceive them, not only are you gonna have to give up for your sins, but you're gonna pay them back and you're gonna add to what you owe them with interest. You've already, for you in this time, it was a double because you're giving up your best bull, you're giving up your best goat, sheep, or whatever it is. Even if you don't know, and in the beginning of the chapter, it says, if you touch a carcass by mistake, or if you come across and you commit a sin without knowing it. These are things about being mindful of everything that you do.
It's huge. It's huge.
Everything, every place that you go, every interaction that you have. When you walk into these rooms, especially in New Orleans right now, we can have people attest to this. You can walk into some places that is set up to be a party or set up to be a get together.
It's an altar.
And the entire building is an altar. The entire building is an altar.
It's an altar.
From the broken glass to the symbolism to the sacrificed animals on the wall that you may call stuffed. You know, what is it called? The process.
Not taxidermy.
Yeah, taxidermy, exactly. Taxidermists. You know, it's not just taxidermists. You're walking into people with spirits. Tombs. You have to be aware of everything that you are touching, everything that touches you. You want to stay cleansed at all times.
Walking prayer, literally.
Y'all all saw the movie Fallen, right? With Denzel Washington. Ooh. When the devils touch the shoulder and it goes. People don't.
Come on now. Give me these hints. He said it's a little thing, man. Today, I killed a fly. And as a Nazarite, I'm not supposed to be around death. So think about that. That hit me today. I was like, oh.
And in these times, he would have had to go through a full cleansing process if it was killing God's creatures. You can't kill the Most High's creatures, the things that He owns, that He is giving life to, without answering for that.
And it's completely unrighteous the way I did it. It was there because I left something out, and now the thing is there flying around, and now I went to kill the thing, and I put the thing there, and that's why I'm trying to...
Yeah.
There's levels to this.
We'll pull out this
Levels to this.
Psalms 50 right quick.
Man, there's levels to this. There's like 3 more verses.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull that Psalms 50 out.
Wow.
Go ahead. Continue to read, my brother.
All right. Verse 24. Or anything else about which he swore falsely, he shall repay the principal amount and add a fifth part to it. He shall pay it to its owner when he realizes his guilt. Then he shall bring to the priest, as his penalty to the Most High, a ram without blemish from the flock, or the equivalent as a guilt offering.
The equivalent.
The priest shall make expiation on his behalf before the Most High, and he shall be forgiven for whatever he may have done to draw blame thereby. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. That is chapter 5 of Leviticus. Yes, pronounce it again, my brother.
Vayikra.
Vayikra is how you pronounce it in Hebrew. When we talk about these sacrifices, right, and what you had to go through, Psalms 50, 25. Let me get this Psalms 50. In Psalms 50, David is talking to the Most High, and the Most High is explaining how he feels about these offerings. I'm coming, y'all. Excuse me. Yeah. That's 30.
Says Psalm 55.
50.
Boom.
Thank you, my brother. So the Psalms 50. It says, a Psalms asked the Most High, Hawa, spoke and summoned the world from east to west, from Zion, perfect in beauty. The Most High appeared. Let our Hawa come and not fail to act. Devouring fire preceded him. It stormed around him fiercely. He summoned the heavens above and the earth for the trial of his people. Bring in my devotees who made a covenant with me over sacrifice. Then the heavens proclaimed his righteousness, for he is the Most High who judges. Selah. Pay heed, my people, and I will speak, O Israel, and I will arraign you. I am the Most High, your Hawa. I censor you not for your sacrifices and your burnt offerings made to me daily. I claim no bull from your estate, no he-goat from your pens. For mine is every animal of the forest. The Most High said, I don't need anything from your pens. I'm gonna go from again and say, pay heed, my people. I will speak to you, O Israel. I will arraign you. What is the word arraignment?
Wow.
When you was in New Orleans, we've been to court many a time. We know what that means, right? It says, I will arraign you. I am the Most High, your Hawaii, your breath. I censor you not for your sacrifice, meaning that I am reprimanding you not for your sacrifices. Like, I'm not getting at you because you haven't sacrificed to me or you haven't made enough to me. He's saying, for mine is every animal of the forest, the beast on 1,000 mountains. I know every bird of the mountain. The creatures of the field are subject to me. Where I hunger, I would not tell you. For mine is the world and all it holds. Do I eat the flesh of bulls or drink the blood of he-goats? Sacrifice a thing offering to the Most High and pay your vows to the Most High. Call upon me in the time of trouble. I will rescue you, and you shall honor me. Most High said, pray unto him. I'm not at you because of your sacrifices. You don't come to me. You cut it up, do what you do, and you keep moving. He said, everything is on his. All that is on this earth that you sacrifice to cleanse yourself is his. Give me Psalms 4 as well, my brother. Would you read that song when you get to it? Let me know when you get to it. So when we're talking about these sacrifices, right? I know Passover's coming. We're not even gonna get into that. I know you people in New Orleans, y'all ain't about to sacrifice no lamb, so we ain't got to deal with what's going on nationally while everybody out here trying to sacrifice animals. Sacrifices are done away with because the Most High, Yahweh was the perfect sacrifice. It was the flesh that came to word, right? So, yeah, you give me that Psalms 4.
Yep. From where? From top?
Yeah.
Psalms 4. For the leader with instrumental music, a psalm of David. Answer me when I call, O Most High, my vindicator. You freed me from distress. Have mercy on me and hear my prayer. You men, how long will my glory be mocked? Will you love illusions? Have recourse to frauds. Selah.
Because the frauds.
Know that the Most High singles out the faithful for himself. The Most High hears when I call to him. So tremble and sin no more. Ponder it in your bed and sigh. Offer sacrifices in righteousness and trust in the Most High.
Ooh. Whoa. Could you read that part again? What does he want you to sacrifice?
Offer sacrifices in righteousness and trust in the Most High.
That is Psalms, David, King David. We read in 50 when the Most High says, I don't need your sacrifices. Every animal is mine. You are mine. So don't want to get off the pineal gland, right? We don't want to get off of that. Because when we see the sacrifices, it says to cover the head of the bull. Not the eyes, but the head where the pineal rests. The soul, right? So the Most High is telling you when you sacrifice his animals to cover the pineal, to cover the head. Cover the soul of the animal because he's his.
Yes.
The animals and the beast are his because they commune with the Most High. They have a soul.
Yes, they do.
So when you sacrifice his, you're sacrificing souls unto him for your cleansing. That's what Leviticus and the priests were about. And the priests, before they could make a cleansing sacrifice for you that you brought to them, they had to cleanse themselves first. Most High is like, okay, it's a lot of blood. Y'all not taking this thing seriously. So now your sacrifice is righteousness. Your sacrifice is of righteousness and trust. So Sebi was being righteous about our health.
Yep.
Nipsey was trying to give light at righteousness. So they were sacrificed in righteousness. You know, if I don't get to go in old age with all of my grandkids and great grandkids around me, I pray that when I go, they say I definitely want to speak on my brother's demise from this physical work, but I pray that that can be said about me, that for righteousness.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I died for righteousness.
Has to happen.
So
There's no other way to go.
no other way to go. Everyone was so about being righteous that they didn't touch dead, unclean animals. We are eating things, constantly putting dead animals, unclean dead animals into our bodies.
Yeah. What was that whole thing about the redfish that you were talking about?
The fact that the redfish, we can't, Our government doesn't even allow you to be able to go in and get your fish and get yourself for yourself or open your own business. You got to be federally regulated. So that means that all fish that can go for large consumption has to go through federal regulate.
Regulation.
They need some water regulations, and it's frozen. So you never have the ability to get it fresh.
Unless you know a fisherman.
We do. But anyway, that's not. You seek and you will find everything that you need, healthy foods in all places, and the Most High will provide those for you because that's a sacrifice you're making. You're seeking on the understanding that the way that the devil enters you is through your food. It. Let's give you another parallel to it. The 5G network. 5G network is frequencies. Your body's made 80% of water. That's highly responsive to frequencies. Water is highly responsive to
Yeah,
frequencies.
it's a pretty big conductor.
Yeah, conductor. So I know you see the flesh when you're looking in the mirror and you're trying to build your muscles and then you got a lot of hard bones and teeth and everything, but actually it's a very small percentage of your body. The most of it is liquid via blood or water, So it liquid is a conductor of frequencies. So these 5G networks can affect your body, your temple with frequencies without ever touching you. Can make you go and fight somebody, can make your body start ailing. There's certain frequencies that affect different nervous systems in your body. So when we say food or what you put into your body directly affects your thought process, your spirit, your everything. And in Leviticus, that's why the order was given of what to eat, how to eat. We've gone through the first 5 chapters, going through the sacrifices, but as we go through Leviticus, as we go into Passover, we're going to go into much more than that. So, yeah, my brother, I think give me, can you give me Psalm 27? Let me knock them out. 8, I'm right here by 8. Let me give me that 8.
Psalm 8.
Yeah, Psalm 8. Everybody's in the building. What's up, Jason? I see Mark in the building. Ak Aman Israel. I see Sharon is in the building. Our big queen in the building. So sorry for the loss.
Hey,
What's up, Vanessa in the building? Hey, queen. We got Maria in the building.
what up?
Gian, yes. All praises. Kiara's in the building. We got Deidre. Hey, Deidre. That's my girl. Hammock in the building. What's up? Shalom. Rodney's in the building. Hallelujah. Yes, fruits of creation.
Hey, what up?
Yes. Slick Leo in the building. I hope you feeling better, brother. I saw that picture of you in the hospital. You said it was a quick one. I'm glad you out. What's up, Big Chief Black in the building? Yes, sir. We got a great Scott, my brother, in the building. Yuan and Evelyn, as always, great to see you in the building. Damien in the building. Yes.
Got the family.
Yes. My brother Trip is in the building all the way to ATL.
Yeah.
Yes. We had an awesome group in here tonight.
Yes.
Awesome group. So yeah, that Psalms 8 talking about what we should be sacrificing today if we're not sacrificing animals.
Psalm 8 for the leader on the Gittith, a psalm of David. Our Most High, O Most High, how majestic is your name throughout the earth. You who have covered the heavens with your splendor. From the mouths of infants and sucklings, you have founded strength on account of your foes, to put an end to enemy and avenger. When I behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place.
Yes.
What is man that you have been mindful of him? Mortal man that you have taken note of him, that you have made him little less than divine
Yes.
and adorn him with glory and majesty. You have made him master over your handiwork, laying the world at his feet, sheep and oxen, all of them, and wild beasts too, the birds of the heavens and the fish of the sea, whatever travels the paths of the seas. O Most High, our Most High, how majestic is your name throughout the earth.
So the first one, righteousness, prayer, and giving praise unto the Most High. Your sacrifice. It's, it's real easy. I know people get tired of hearing all praise to the Most High when you're trying to give us a compliment, but it is Him. Like we clear on who does the things for us, and in that praise and just really speaking the truth. I mean, really, the praise is the truth because we're not lying on who provides everything for us.
Yeah,
So
straightforward.
yeah. So people get tired of that. My sister told us a story tonight about her family was a little upset that they say shalom and all praises to the Most High and Todah Rabbah and Shalom and all of that. The family say we don't know them words. Don't be saying that thing around us. Our people perish for a lack of faith. Yes, and lack of knowledge, man.
And be very, very happy that folks are showing their true colors early in the game.
Yeah,
You ain't gotta wait on this.
yeah.
Make some decisions now.
Yeah, so we got, this chart I want y'all to check out. So I don't know if it's gonna be good. Damn, right there. Then I'm gonna put down right here. So we're going to put this out. I want you guys to look this up. This is your 5 offerings. So as you will see in burnt offerings, its nature is it's according to the procession, identification, and the sprinkling of blood, all that was burned. So skin was burned, oils are burned, flour is burned, the entrails, the kidneys, the fat is burned. These are all the things that are part of burnt offerings. The meal that is given many times is the wheat, flour, corn, especially cornmeal. For the peace meal, it's always mostly it's going to be the animals, and it's going to put up the breast and the shoulder, which was the funniest thing when I looked at this, at the that in the peace meal that the priest had to actually hold up the breast and the shoulder of the animal. And we always laugh about the priest coming around and wanting a big piece of chicken at the end. The breast is usually the biggest piece of chicken. You know what I'm saying? Just watch how that kind of just went through down into the generations. That part never lost.
Always gets that big piece.
Always. So, so when we do the understanding that when you do your meal offerings, there's always a part that you're giving to the Most High. Whether it be the fat and the inwards, or whether it be a handful of the meal, whether it be all the skin and all the different things that are in the burnt offerings, you're always going to give the portion to the Most High. Sometimes the priests are going to have work to do, and sometimes they won't have work to do in it as far as well, they always got work to do. That's their job of bringing it. So, but from the sprinkling of the blood to the 7 horns, to sprinkling to the 4 corners of the entrance, all these things were the priest work in these offerings, and in the sin offerings, it was mostly always animals, mostly a bull or a lamb or a sheep, which is the lamb is the daughter and the ram is the adult. For your trespasses, you were able to sacrifice birds as well as in the burnt offerings aspects. You burn the entrails in the burnt offerings, so it's well with the trespassing and confession. So your trespasses was the thing that was really different out of the 5 ways that you would cleanse yourself. Out of the burnt offerings, you identify what you did wrong. With the meal, you bring it to the priest. With the peace, you slay the offering, and with the sin, you identify yourself as what you sin. But in the trespass, when you trespass against the Most High, you actually got to confess and drop to your knees. So your trespassing was a little bit different in how you are able to be restored, and cleansed. So we're gonna go deeper into this chart on Wednesday. We're gonna go more into because 7. Once we get out of 7, we're pretty much out of the offerings, and I really want to make sure that we all are clear on the offerings and why we did the offerings, what was the cleansing about, what each one meant, So yeah. So you have anything to say for the night, my brother? Anything else you'd like to end
It's
off?
so on purpose. It's so tactful. It's so intricate, So let's keep digging. Let's keep digging together,
Yeah.
We see that there's a price to pay for the truth. As long as you're feeding a lie, we'll let you run free because you just help to get more people lost. But the second that the truth starts coming out, not only is your family gonna be getting at you, and just leaving you for ransom, but they coming.
Yeah.
The people's coming. Your true family is gonna form itself, and your true family, a lot of times, like my father said, is not gonna be your blood. It's gonna be those that are with you on this walk.
Yeah.
That's who your true family is gonna be. So I'm just saying, big shout out to true family. Y'all know who you are.
Yep. Shouts out to the family. So yeah, man. Thank everybody for joining in tonight. Wednesday, 8 o'clock. We'll be back at it with Call to the Appropriation. Our favorite night to get rowdy.
Yeah.
We're gonna play the song. See, last time I said I was gonna play the song and I never played it. And I know everybody likes the music, and we've been going so hard with the music. I mean, with the lessons that we've been coming with, that we haven't been playing a whole bunch of music, but want to give. Shouts out to Peasy.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Sons of Light. Fourth Tribe Static Addicts. Yeah.
Much love to Nipsey Hussle.
Nipsey Hussle.
And everybody out here just giving it up. Loving us, man. Building a family.
The demons, y'all call them heroes. No. Raise the height. No steady line. No love. There's ruin. There's ruin. Ruin. I won't let this take us down, baby. There's ruins, there's horrors everywhere. We got the Most High, a higher, sure, a higher. We will not let these things take us down. Next soldier will step up. That's what we do. The lamb, the other way. Where we go, Leo, pimping. Oh, went from pastor to pimping. My level, heavy metal. Then ruins. I won't let it take us down. Man, the spirit is too real. We are learning, we are seeking. That's the biggest fear. that they have. That when you take this walk, you know there's no fear.
The GMO foods is full of fear.
Yes, GMO is genetically altered to bring you fear. Your body starts to shaking and don't know what to do.
Remember, it's in the beer. Don't think
Yeast.
it's free. I don't care how expensive the beer is.
Right.
It's yeast.
Yes. Do it. Ruin.
I cannot drink. You cannot drink.
Yeah, for real. I used to have a ball with it.
Yeah.
I used to love what they the drink they used to call Beautiful. It was Hennessy and Grand Marnier. Double dumb spirits.
I want straight thug back.
Straight up, Alizé and Hennessy. Yeah.
I like my nights planned out. I can anticipate what happens at the end of that.
Yes, indeed. Oh, praise to the Most High. Higher, sure, higher. We'll see you guys next on Wednesday.
Yes.
We will see you. All praise to the Most High.
Yes.
Shalom.